That's right, boys. Welcome to the side of the ring because it's time for some Ringside Rumors. CM Punk still has the wrestling bug after his AEW run, a source told FIFA Select, so he may not be done, as was recently speculated. Their story mentions that WWE would likely be interested in possibly bringing him in, and that reps of several other companies said they'd at least be interested in talking to him. Okay, well, I mean, if they're not going to rule it out, then they're not going to rule it out. There's not really much else I can say. I did talk about this more so in the Turnbuckle episode earlier on today, and I was like, there's people in Triple H's camp, and there's people in CM Punk's camp there's people in Triple H's camp that are like, no, don't do this. And I'm sure there's people in the WWE locker room that are like, no, don't do this. But at the end of the day, I don't really think it falls down on them. So, I mean, we're really just going to have to wait and see. Fightful also had a WWE source confirm for them that Vince McMahon is done. Oh, yeah, that's okay. I heard about this. So, yeah, that was also happening in the investor call. I spoke about that in the Turnbuckle as well, and there was a lot of stuff that we spoke about. And one of the things that they spoke about was that the investigation is done and won't be returning to any of his old roles. Oh, and another higher up at the company reiterated that morale is great right now. So he's not returning. Now, I did speak about this on Ringside Rumors. I don't remember when I talked about it, but I did say that. I was like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, something. Vince McMahon could potentially come back, like, fully. Like, he could just be like, that's right, I've returned. What are you going to do about it, you know? But no, he's done. He's out of here. It's over. Great. Ding Dong, which is dead. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. But Ding Dong, which is not coming back to a leadership role within WWE. Next, regarding the threats Saudi Arabia is said to have warned the U.S. government about, PW Insider reports WWE already has security protocols and emergency contingencies in place for any issues. That's good. I also heard as well that it wasn't happening in Riyadh? I don't know. It wasn't happening in the area that everybody assumed that it was going to be. It was going to be happening somewhere else. I'm not going to completely and 100% rule out the fact that Crown Jewel is completely safe, but the fact that it's not happening in the area the Crown Jewel is taking place, that kind of takes a little bit of the stress off of everybody's shoulders, I feel like. Next, in response to an earlier rumor that she was backstage at WWE's Mexico City show last weekend, Super Lucha's Apollo Valdez said Sasha Banks was in the area to train, and a photo of her with Bayley and the Luchador Mamba that was circulating wasn't taken at the WWE event. Okay, well, there you go. That debunks that. Okay. Super Lucha said Valdez, okay. So the rumor, Super Lucha's Apollo Valdez said Sasha Banks is in the area to train, and a photo of her with Bayley wasn't taken at the WWE event. Okay, so she is training in Mexico City, but the photo of her with Bayley and Luchador Mambo that was circulating wasn't taken at the WWE event. Okay, so, all right, okay. So it's one of those like, hey, it's like, no, this is happening somewhere else, so it's fine. Next, T-Bar is listed by his old indie name, Donovan Dijak, on WWE's internal roster, according to Insider. The site notes Triple H is still high in the former Ring of Honor and NXT wrestler. That's good to know. Now, I didn't know that his old indie name was Donovan Dijak, although, to be fair, his full WWE name was Donovan Dijakovic. So, I mean, it's not as if that's not his name, so they're pretty much just shortening it. I like Donovan Dijakovic. It's pretty fun to say. It's like Boban Bogdanovic, you know, and it's like, Nikola Jokic, you know, it's just fun to say. I don't know, it rolls off the tongue really well. It's not like a name where you gotta like, your tongue has to like football around your mouth and everything, you know. Finally, after Shinsuke Nakamura mentioned that WWE was originally not on board with him wrestling the Great Muta in Pro Wrestling Noah, Wrestling Inc. reported Triple H personally reached out to Noah to see if the opportunity was still available. They also say Noah had Sonny Onu clear the deal with their partners in AEW before announcing it. Well, that's good. See, that makes sense that Triple H himself picked up the phone and was like, hey, is this still on? You know, I'm glad that they're doing that. Again, it makes sense that they would do that. And this is what I was talking about before in the sense of like, hey, WWE is trying to do the thing of like, hey, look at what we're doing. Look at this guy. This is weird, right? But here he is, you know? And I think that that's kind of like the point of like, we are not going to be not reaching out. Man, we are going to be reaching out to more companies and more promotions. And we're not going to do the thing where we're just going to close everybody off and pretend we're like in a bubble or something. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to be doing more stuff in regards to, like, the Forbidden Door and everything like that. And I think that that is going to help wrestling. I mean, just wrestling in general. I genuinely do feel like that is actually going to boost. I talk about it all the time. In regards to boosting wrestling and helping everybody's profile. Like, this is doing something for Noah, Shinsuke Nakamura. You know what I mean? To a certain extent, it's sort of like, AEW is peering through the window and being like, oh wow, look at that, and it's gonna inspire AEW and many more companies like that to be like, hey, we should also do that. I think, what was it? I think it was GCW? No. Or MLW. One of them, I think they're on Fight TV now. You know what I mean? So, like, they're getting, like, they're spreading around more, which is good. Like, this is what you want to see. You just want to see wrestlers all over the bloody place, all right? You want to see wrestlers all over the place. You don't want wrestlers to stay in one area. You want everybody to go everywhere and wrestle everybody and hold belts from different promotions and then bring them on to different promotions and be like, look at this belt. This belt is from insert company here, and I'm the champion at that company. And then somebody from that company comes onto that show with that wrestler with that belt, and then they fight, and it just helps. Like, that's all I want. That's all I want. That's all a lot of wrestling fans want, I mean, I want to give a shout out to the wrestling fans who are just like, no, Fed bad, AEW good, like, oh, you would say that because you're a WWE mark or whatever nonsense. Like, we know whatever about them, okay? I want good wrestling for all, okay, and for all a good night, all right? What do we talk about? CM Punk has a wrestling bug. I mean, listen, we got to wait and see what happens. Let's see. Vince McMahon is done, okay? Good to know. He's out of here. We don't got to worry about him anymore. Saudi Arabia. So WWE has contingencies and security protocols set in place. Thank goodness. I'm happy to hear about that. They also did say that it wasn't happening exactly what Crown Jewel was, but I'm glad that they still have security and contingencies set in place. That's good to know. Super Lucha's Apollo Valdez said Sasha Banks was in the area to train, but the photo with her and Bayley and the Luchador Mambo that was circulating wasn't taken at the WWE event. So don't worry, those two are mutually exclusive. T-Bars, listed by his own indie name, is Donovan Dijak, so he's coming back soon. I don't necessarily know when that's going to be, so we're just going to have to wait and see that. And, I mean, wrestling, okay? It's absolutely beautiful. And Triple H reached out to Noah personally and was like, hey, are we still doing this? And Noah said yes, I love wrestling. Wrestling loves me, okay? It's a wonderful thing, and I love that it brings out the best and the worst in people. It's just absolutely wonderful, okay? What do they always say? Nobody hates wrestling more than wrestling fans, all right? That's going to do it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, because I certainly enjoyed making it. And I'll definitely catch you guys, I almost forgot, I'm not going to lie, in the next one.